Welcome back to another emotional English learning story, VocaBella. Today's story is about Lucas, a boy who waited by the door for years, hoping his father would come back home. This is a story about abandonment, questions left unanswered, and the difficult journey of healing. Listen carefully, follow the words, and practice your English as we dive into the man who never came back. Let's begin. Lucas was 8 years old the day his father left. It was a Saturday morning. Lucas sat at the kitchen table, eating cereal, swinging his legs under the chair. His dad, James, walked in, grabbed his jacket, and said, "I'll be back soon, buddy." Lucas smiled and waved. "Okay, Dad." But James never came back. At first, Lucas didn't understand. Every time the doorbell rang, he ran to check. Every time a car pulled into the driveway, his heart raced. Every night, he sat by the window, staring at the street, waiting for headlights. But days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and slowly, Lucas realized his father wasn't coming home. His mother, Sarah, did her best. She worked 2 jobs, packed his lunch, helped with homework, but Lucas noticed the sadness in her eyes, especially late at night when she thought he was asleep. He often heard her crying quietly in her room. At school, when teachers talked about family projects, Lucas felt his stomach twist. While other kids drew pictures of Mom and Dad, Lucas only drew her, just Mom, every time. As years passed, the pain changed. At age 10, Lucas felt confusion. Why did he leave at 12? He felt anger. Was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? At 15, he felt numb. He stopped talking about his dad altogether. When people asked, "Where's your father?" Lucas would just say, "I don't know," and change the subject. But deep inside, the wound remained. Then, on his 18th birthday, something happened. A letter arrived. No return address. Just his name, Lucas Martin. Hands shaking, he opened it. It read, "Lucas, I'm sorry. I've thought about you every day. I know I don't deserve it. But if you're willing, I'd like to meet this Saturday at Greenfield Cafe, 2 p.m. Signed, James, his father." Lucas stared at the letter for hours. His heart was a storm. Anger, hope, confusion. After 10 years, now you want to talk. Part of him wanted to tear the letter apart, but another part wanted answers. Saturday came. At 1:30 p.m., Lucas sat in his car outside the cafe, staring at the door. His hands trembled on the steering wheel. He checked his watch. 1:45 p.m. "You don't have to go in," he whispered to himself, but his feet moved anyway. Inside, he found a corner table, ordered coffee, and waited. 2 p.m. came, then 2:15, then 2:30. No one walked in. No familiar face. No man resembling the father he remembered from 10 years ago. By 3 p.m., Lucas realized he wasn't coming again. Lucas left the cafe, heart heavy, eyes burning. When he got home, he tossed the letter into a drawer and promised himself he wouldn't cry. Not for him. Not again. Weeks passed. One afternoon, while cleaning his room, Lucas opened the drawer again. stared at the letter this time. He didn't feel sadness, he felt acceptance. He picked up a pen and wrote a letter back. But this time, it wasn't a letter to send. It was a letter for himself. "Dear Dad," he wrote, "you hurt me. You left me. But I won't let your absence define my life anymore. I am stronger than this pain. I forgive you. Not for you, but for me. So I can move on. Goodbye." Lucas folded the paper and placed it back in the drawer. Then he smiled. For the first time in a long time. From that day forward, Lucas focused on his own life. He went to college, made new friends, fell in love, built his own future, without waiting by the door, without staring at the street, without looking for headlights, because sometimes the closure we need doesn't come from others, it comes from inside. Years later, when Lucas had children of his own, he promised them one thing: "I will never make you wait by the door." Not like I did, and he kept that promise every day. Thank you for listening to Lucas's story, The Man Who Never Came Back. Have you ever waited for someone, hoping they would return? Sometimes the hardest part of healing is accepting that some people will never give you the answers you want, but you can still move forward. You can still build your own happiness. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and join me again for more emotional English listening stories that help you learn, feel, and grow. See you in the next story.